Americans are racking up credit card debt while trying to keep up with the rising cost of living. According to a recent report, the total credit card debt in the US reached over $1 trillion in the second quarter of 2024. With average interest rates over 21%, it makes sense why almost 50% of Americans carry credit card debt every month. It's honestly heartbreaking to see so many people struggling with this. That's why in this video, I'm going to show you some effective ways to pay off credit card debt that have personally worked for me and my family, as well as many other people. This way you can save more money and increase your credit score. Plus, I'll let you in on a way to get $300 completely for free to help pay down your debts. So make sure to stick around until the end. Now, since high interest rates make it pretty hard to pay off credit card debt, one of the first things you can do is call your credit card company and ask if they can lower your rate due to financial difficulties. Many people have successfully gotten lower interest rates or even 0% interest for a limited time, so it's definitely worth asking. The worst they can say is no, but you might be surprised by how willing they are to help just to keep you as a customer. If they don't lower your rate, you can ask to speak with their financial relief department. They may be able to help you set up a payment plan with a lower interest rate. I know that American Express, Discover, and Wells Fargo have programs like these, but many other banks and credit unions do as well. For example, American Express says that they can lower your monthly payments and interest rates, plus waive future late fees and membership fees. However, during this program, you might not be able to use your credit card for new purchases until it's fully paid, and you may lose access to some of your benefits. But honestly, that's a good thing. You shouldn't be using a card you're trying to pay off anyway. That's like talking to an ex you're trying to get over. It just doesn't make sense. Another thing you can do, and one of the best ways to pay off your credit card debt, is by applying for a credit card that offers 0% interest. Doing this allows you to transfer your debt from one card to another that charges no interest for a set time. This gives you time to pay off your debt without any interest. For example, if you have a credit card with a $6,000 balance, you can apply for a zero interest credit card, move your balance over to the new card, and avoid paying interest for a set time, which is usually between 12 and 24 months, depending on the credit card. Now, when you're looking for a 0% interest credit card, make sure it has no annual fee and a low balance transfer fee, ideally around 3%. The balance transfer fee is the price you'll need to pay to transfer your balance from one credit card to the other, which is usually 3 to 5% of the amount you're transferring. For example, if you transfer $1,000 and the fee is 3%, you'd pay $30 for the transfer. Even though there's a small fee up front, moving your balance to a zero interest credit card means that all your payments will go straight to reducing your debt instead of paying high interest. This can save you a lot of money and help you pay off your debt much faster if done correctly. For example, if you have a $5,000 balance on a card with 20% interest, you'd pay way more on interest every month than a one-time transfer fee of about $150, which is 3% of $5,000. Now, a great 0% interest credit card that I personally have and recommend is the Chase Freedom Unlimited. Right now, it offers 0% intro APR for 15 months, has no annual fee, and charges a 3% fee on balance transfers. It also gives you a $200 cash bonus when you spend $500 in the first 3 months, plus cash back, 3% on dining and drugstores, 5% on travel, and 1.5% on everything else. However, right now, our main goal is to pay down debt, not add more. So focus on paying off your balances first and worry about rewards later. Another good zero interest credit card is the Capital One Quicksilver Cash Rewards card. Right now, it offers zero interest for the first 15 months, has no annual fee, and charges a 3% fee on balance transfers. You can also get a $200 cash bonus when you spend $500, and it earns 1.5% cash back on all purchases. Next, we have the Capital One Saver Cash Rewards card. This card offers zero interest for the first 15 months, has no annual fee, and charges a 3% fee on balance transfers. For a limited time, you can also earn a $250 cash bonus when you spend $500 in the first 3 months. Plus, you get 5% cash back on hotels and rental cars booked through Capital One's travel portal, 3% on groceries, dining, entertainment, and popular streaming services, and 1% on everything else. I've added some other great options on the screen, including credit cards with longer 0% interest periods if you need more time to pay off your debt. Just note that these usually have higher balance transfer fees, around 5%. Feel free to pause if you like. Now, if you choose to go with the 0% interest credit card method, here are some crucial things you should know. First up, you usually can't transfer balances between two cards from the same bank. For example, if you have a $6,000 balance on your Chase Freedom Unlimited, you can't move that balance to another Chase card like the Freedom Flex. Instead, you'll need to apply for a card from a different bank, like Capital One, Discover, American Express, or any other bank that isn't Chase. Second, your new card needs to have a high enough credit limit to cover the amount you want to transfer. For example, if your balance is $6,000, you need to be approved for a new credit card with a credit limit of at least $6,000 to transfer the whole balance. If you only get approved for $5,000, you can only transfer $5,000, which means you'll still owe $1,000 on your old card. It's also important to note that once the 0% interest period ends, the card's regular interest rate will apply to any remaining balance. So try to pay off as much of your balance as you can before that promotional period ends. That way you avoid interest charges. Lastly, missing payments could cause you to lose the 0% interest rate and hurt your credit score. So if you cannot make extra payments, at least make the minimum monthly payments. And remember, the new card isn't for spending more money. It's for moving a big balance from another credit card to give you more time to pay it off. So try not to add to your balance while you're doing this. Moving on, another way to pay off credit card debt is by using the debt snowball or avalanche methods. The debt snowball method involves paying off debts from smallest to largest. How it works is that you list your debts from smallest to largest, make minimum payments on all of them except for the smallest one, then put any extra money you can towards the smallest debt until it's paid off. Once that debt is fully paid, use the money you were paying on it to help pay the next smallest debt. Then repeat until all your debts are paid off. The reason this works is because paying off small debts first gives you a sense of achievement and motivates you to keep paying off the rest of your debts until they're all gone. Now, the debt avalanche method is similar to this, but instead of starting with the smallest debts, you focus on paying off debts with the highest interest rates first. It may take longer to see results this way, but you save more money on interest over time because you're paying the most expensive debts first. Another way to pay down credit card debt is by getting a personal loan with a lower interest rate than what you're currently paying on your credit cards. This lets you combine your debts into one monthly payment, which could save you money on interest. For example, if you have 3 credit cards with a total balance of $8,000 at a 22% interest rate, and you get approved for an $8,000 personal loan at a lower interest rate of 10%, you can use that loan to pay off the 3 credit cards completely. So instead of paying high interest on 3 credit cards, you now only have one monthly payment for the personal loan at 10% interest. This makes it easier to manage your finances and helps you save money on interest over time. Now, if you're considering a personal loan, I highly recommend SoFi. Right now, if you use my link in the description, you can get a $300 cash bonus after your loan is funded, which is literally free money you can use to help pay down your debt. Besides the free cash, SoFi lets you check your interest rate with no impact to your credit score. And you can get approved for up to $100,000 without the annoying fees that banks usually charge on personal loans. You could even have your funds available the same day you sign up. The application is entirely online and the rates start at 8.99%, which is much lower than most credit cards. Many people have had great experiences using SoFi to pay off their credit card debt, so it's definitely worth checking out. I'll drop my link in the description for anyone interested. Now, it's very important to note that if your credit score is low, you might not qualify for a loan with good terms and low interest rates. Also, most personal loans have fees, like origination fees, annual fees, balance transfer fees, or closing costs, which could increase your total cost. So before taking out a loan, ask about fees and make sure you can afford the monthly payments. Remember, missing a payment can hurt your credit score and lead to late fees. So consider setting up autopay if the lender offers it. Now, along with everything we've talked about, it's super important to create a budget, so you know exactly how much money you're making and spending. One way to do this is by using the 50-30-20 rule, which suggests that 50% of your income goes towards essentials like your rent or your mortgage, utilities, and groceries. 30% is for things you enjoy but really don't need, like eating out all the time or entertainment. And 20% is for savings and paying down debt like credit cards or loans. The goal here is to balance your spending. That way you can enjoy life while also saving money and paying down debt. Now, if you're already budgeting and still don't have enough money left over, another option is to try to make more money. You could work extra hours, ask for a raise, sell things you no longer use, or simply start a side hustle for a little while until you pay off all your credit cards. Over 46% of Americans have a side hustle, and 20% of them use it to pay down debt, so you wouldn't be the first. You should also stop using credit cards and switch to cash or debit. The last thing you want to do is add to your debt by charging more to your card. Literally, stop using it. If you can't pay cash for something, don't buy it. Even if you earn cash back, it doesn't make sense to earn 2 to 3% cash back when you're paying over 25% interest on your balance. Now, there is another way to pay off credit card debt that goes against my last 2 points, but it has helped a lot of people get out of debt. With this strategy, you can pay down your credit cards without needing extra income, just using the money you already have. No side hustles or extra jobs needed. If you want to know more about it, comment part 2 and I'll make a video on it. Going forward, please remember the golden rule of credit cards. Always pay off your balances in full every month. If you do this, the interest rate won't ever matter because you won't pay any interest at all, and your credit score will increase over time. Also, try not to use your credit card for things you can't afford to pay for in cash. If you have to charge it to your card, you probably can't afford it. And that can lead to bigger money problems, which we don't want. Anyway, I really hope you found this video helpful. And if you know anyone struggling with credit card debt, please share it with them. If you want to stay updated on finance topics like credit scores, credit cards, debt management, bank accounts, investing, real estate, and much more, sign up for my newsletter using the link in the description. Also, if you want to grow your savings, don't forget to grab my free checklist where I show you how to choose the best high-yield savings accounts for you and my top recommendations. See you on the next one.